Hi everyone, so today I wanted to talk about MS and relationships. I've tried to make this video goodness knows how many times, and every time I just seem to get my words jumbled and I just can't seem to get the words out in the right order at the right time. So hopefully this time I'll be able to get it all out in the one take and it'll all go smoothly. Now, I just want to say that a lot of people I know, and myself included, have issues with finding relationships stemming from the fact that we have MS. Now, that's not to say that MS is to blame, it's just to say that it makes it a little more difficult, or at least my perception of things, and a lot of other people I know, they have the same perception that having MS does make it more difficult to find a relationship and make that relationship work. And it's for many reasons, but I think all of the reasons can be combated given time and given the right partner. But given that so many people I know struggle with it, I thought I should probably make a video about it in case there are people who watch these videos that I don't know personally that are also having the same struggles, to let them know that it's not just them, it is a pretty universal thing with MS. So the first thing is obviously when you're in a relationship, you lean on your partner a lot for support. And I think having MS, there's likely to be more times that you need support than a normal person would need support. Just because of the hospital appointments, the treatment, the relapses, the condition in general, the mental toll it takes on you, it is a lot to deal with. And in every relationship, whether MS is involved or not, you do lean on your partner for support. And I think I personally have underestimated how much support I took from my other half. And it is a strain for them, obviously. And I think it's very, very important in hindsight. Now I've realised it's very, very important to show that you can still be independent, because there's a fine line between taking that support from your partner and being dependent on your partner. And I think as much as you might think it's just support, they might see it as dependence. So it is important every now and again to show that you can stand up on your own and deal with this as an individual without their support there. That way, if the relationship does go sour at one point or another for whatever reason, they don't feel the need to stay and they know that you'll be able to cope on your own. As much as it is nice having someone there, it's also good for them to know that you can deal with this on your own and you're totally up to the job. Let them know that you've been doing it for years before and you can do it for years after them if that's the way things work out. Second of all, I think that it's difficult to know when to introduce the whole topic of MS into a relationship and how much information do you give. I have found that MS surprisingly fits quite easily into conversations, so there's no need to open up the conversation with the fact that you have MS, but in time, after you've been talking to the person for a couple of weeks maybe, it will just come up in conversation and you'll be able to tell them about it. I'm the sort of person that I can't lie. So if I'm going into hospital for treatment and someone asks me what I'm doing, I'll tell them I'm going into hospital for treatment. If they ask why, I'll tell them why, and then they know and everything's out in there. But then there's the issue of how much do you share, how far do you let them in? And I think it's important to slowly let the guard down rather than just let it all down at once. So I have never had a boyfriend come to a treatment, I've never had them see me do a home injection, I have never taken them to a consultant appointment with me. Just because at the time in those relationships I didn't feel it was the right time to do that. I fully understand that if you've been with a person for a long time, you might feel like that is appropriate, but as of yet I have not found someone that I feel comfortable letting them in to that extent. And I think it's important to realise that it's okay to let them in bit by bit. They don't need to know everything, you don't need to tell them everything, it's fully up to you what you tell them and when. And I think the more comfortable you feel with information you're sharing, the better it will come across. I think as well, one thing to remember is, as much as having MS is the norm for you now, it's maybe not the norm for your partner, and it's maybe a completely foreign concept to them. So when you do give them information about it or tell them, make sure you follow it up with reassurance and you let them know that things are okay and you're okay and you're dealing with it and everything's all right. Because I have found that I will sometimes make off the cuff remarks about it, and because I know personally how I'm feeling and how I'm dealing with it, I'm okay with those remarks. But other people, whether it be family, friends, partners, don't have that same luxury of knowing how I feel inside and up here, so they begin to panic about it and thoughts run away with themselves. So just make sure you clarify things when you give them information. Don't just give them a wee snippet and then walk away, because their mind will run away with itself. Make sure you're clear and you explain things to them fully. But other than that, I really don't think that there is anything else that MS affects in terms of relationships that I have found anyway. Obviously, physical issues can cause issues in a relationship, whether it be you're going through a relapse and you can't leave the house a lot and that puts extra strain on it. Obviously those things are a given, that will put strain on a relationship. I'm just talking about the day-to-day things where if you're relapse free and you're just living with the condition, or you maybe have a few hiccups every once in a while, but other than that you're kind of fine. That's the experience I've had, it's the experience most of my friends with MS have had, and I think it's important to realise that although MS plays a part in relationships being difficult, they're not the sole cause. And sometimes you just need to wait for the right thing to come to you, and it will eventually come to you. So don't go blaming it on your MS, don't go beating yourself up about it, don't let it get you down. Just be patient, be happy, and that's about it. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye guys.